There is a version of you that only exists after dark. Walking through woods during the day feels peaceful. You walk your dog and let it run ahead. Birdsong fills the air. Sunlight filters softly through the trees. Everything feels calm, familiar, safe. But after dark, the same place changes. Not the path, not the trees. The path is still there. The trees haven't moved. There's no obvious danger, no real reason to feel uneasy. And yet, something shifts, something difficult to explain. The daytime sounds disappear first. The birds are gone. The familiar noise of the day fades away, and new sounds slowly take their place. An owl calling somewhere in the darkness, leaves rustling where there is barely any wind, branches creaking softly overhead, a soft chorus of insects humming somewhere beneath it all. The woods are not silent, not yet, but they no longer sound safe. And somehow, everything feels different. You notice things more, you listen harder, without even meaning to. A rustle comes from somewhere beside the path. You slow for a second. You listen. Nothing. Then you keep walking. But your body has already reacted. Your pace changes, just slightly. You walk a little faster. And then, almost without permission, the question appears. Is there something there? That is the strange thing about woods at night. You can know there is probably no danger, and still feel watched, not seen, not followed, just watched, as if something is standing just beyond what your eyes can reach. And once that feeling appears, it becomes very difficult to ignore. You become aware of what is behind you. You feel the urge to look back, but sometimes you don't, because somehow not knowing feels safer. If you turn around and see nothing, the feeling may not leave. And if you turn around and see something, well, you are not ready for that either. You tell yourself it is probably nothing, a rabbit, a fox, the wind, but the feeling stays. So what is actually happening? Why does the same woodland path feel peaceful during the day, but unsettling after dark? Why does silence suddenly feel like a warning? Why does every tiny sound seem important? And why does your mind start turning shadows into possibilities? During the day, your brain has information. You can see the path ahead. You can see between the trees. You can see what is moving and what is not. The world feels readable, predictable, but darkness changes the rules. Shapes blur. Distances become harder to judge. Shadows deepen. And when your brain no longer has enough information, it starts filling in the gaps. It starts guessing. And what it guesses is almost never reassuring. That is where the fear begins. Not from what you can see, but from what you can't. A sound overhead, movement deeper in the woods. Without warning, something changes. The insects stop. The rustling fades. For a moment, the woods seem to hold their breath. Then, a twig snaps, close enough to matter. You do not decide to stop. You just stop. You realize you have been holding your breath. You do not remember when you started. Now you are not just hearing the woods, you are listening. Properly listening. Every sound feels important. Every silence means something. Your breathing changes, your focus sharpens, and somewhere deep inside, your brain starts asking questions before you do. What was that? Did something move? Am I actually alone here? Most of the time, there is nothing there. The owl is just an owl. The fox is just a fox. The branch is just a branch. And yet, the feeling remains, because your brain was never designed to feel certain. It was designed to keep you alive. For most of human history, darkness really did hide things. Silence could mean danger, and the feeling of being watched was not always imagination. Sometimes it was exactly right. For thousands of years, the people who ignored those feelings did not always survive. The people who listened did, and somewhere inside you, that instinct still remains. A warning system, something ancient inside you, still doing its job. That is why woods feel different at night. Not because the woods have changed, but because you have. The version of you that walks here in daylight feels safe because it can see. The version of you at night knows it can't, and once certainty disappears, something older takes over, something quieter, sharper, more careful. You are no longer just walking through the woods. You are listening, watching, wondering whether the feeling will pass or whether it will get worse before you reach the lights again. And maybe that is what really unsettles us. Not the thought that something is out there, but the reminder that we were never quite as in control as we thought. So here is the strangest question of all. If you knew with absolute certainty that nothing was out there, would the feeling really go away? Or would something in you still quietly whisper, "Be careful"? And the next time you walk those woods in daylight, and everything feels calm, familiar, safe, you might find yourself wondering, what will this place feel like tonight?